I've been making games commercially since 2014. I've released games on almost all big platforms out there, and today my company WhyKev turns 4 years old. I want to share some things that I've learned throughout the years, and I give a little bit of insight on what I do in order to keep making games every day. Okay, so my career in 20 seconds. I started as a level designer at Zoink and then became a producer and working with the higher-ups and the platform holders. All the while, I co-founded Eldon Pixels with some friends, and I was a programmer doing programming and porting the games to consoles and everything. And then I went solo to do WhyKev while helping out other studios. The time is running out. And then 1.5 years ago, I started doing freelance as WhyKev only. And here we are now. And yes, that took a little bit more than 20 seconds, but we got there. So number one, work-life balance. This could be a little bit tricky because it's different for each person. So my way of doing it might not work exactly for you, but I'm an early bird. I wake up around 5-6 a.m. without an alarm. Then I start my day and I can start working right away. So I start doing my freelance work for around 8 hours, and that's currently Go Mecha Ball. Go check it out. And then around 2-3 p.m. I go to the gym. I like working out and it helps out with the mental, helps me think. And then I get home, and that's when I start doing the WhyKev things, like my personal projects. And right now it's paperclay. That's what I'm doing. Link down below. So what I have is I allow myself from Monday morning to Friday afternoon to work basically how much I want. But if somebody comes ask me like, hey, do you want to hang out this weekday, do this thing, and I'll go, like, because I want to go out there and be social. But then I rarely sit and work during the weekend. There might be some scenarios where I do, but rarely I don't. And I feel like this is working out for me. Number two, make sure you're not using only one set of tools. Let's take game engines, for example. You might release all your commercial games using the same engine, which is good. But you never know what's going to happen in the future. So what I would suggest is take a weekend, take a day, whatever, follow some tutorials to learn some other tools, because you never know if you have to transition into using another engine. You want to be in control of when that takes place and how long the transition period is. It would be really scary if you'd have to make the change, I don't know, next week because reasons. Just a suggestion, just thinking out loud. And number three, be aware of the ups and downs that's going to come throughout your career. Like, there's going to be different phases where things feel like they're going so amazing, everything is perfect. Then there are dips that feel less good, and that's okay. These are going to come and go. My suggestion is to just keep going, because things will get better with time. I had a phase where I felt like I was really stressed because I didn't have time to do all the things that I wanted to, because there were scary things that were like occupying my mind. So what I did, I wrote down everything that scared me and what were the things I could do about it to clear it up. For example, I was doing my own accounting in the beginning, and that was like one Sunday each month, but it was like the entire Sunday got wasted because I was just spending time doing accounting, and that stressed me out loud because I was really scared, like, was it doing the right thing or the wrong thing? But now I'm in a situation where I have the means to hire somebody to do that for me, and I have no stress about that whatsoever. And I feel like that makes me be in the more positive balance for a longer time, which then allows me to work more on my games and be more positive while I work on my games, not knowing, hey, this Sunday I can just chill, I don't have to do accounting. So a little bit messy, but that's the thing. Okay, number four might be a little bit hard, but it's manage expectations. Some people might make games in order to make money, and that's okay. But if that game does not sell well enough, that might affect their mood long term because they failed, so to say. Don't get me wrong, I like my games to sell well enough as well, so I can do this full time just by selling my own games if I wanted to. But unless you have a hit, it can take time to build up a catalog that generates money every month so you can be sustainable. In order to keep a balance, I make sure that I have a job or freelance work, long-term, whatever, in order to take that stress around surrounding money away from my own projects, so I can like focus on that, make sure that I'm not cutting any corners because I have to get the game out within time because my money's running out, and if the game doesn't perform well, I'll be financially ruined. I don't want to be in that situation. I don't want that stress over me. Let's take Hoplix for example. It did not get the mainstream audience that I was looking for. It found an audience that loved the game, which made me very happy. We had a lot of fun on the streams and everything. But since that didn't perform as much as I was hoping it would, I had a day job, so I wasn't worried about Hoplix not performing well. My recommendation is to have a stable income so you don't have to rely financially on your game's success. I really think that could take a toll on you. So number 5 could be my favorite. It's writing down what to work on. So when I'm not by the computer, let's say I'm at the gym and I'm running on a treadmill, whatever, and thinking about paperclay. I'm thinking about cool ideas that I could have in the game or what I'm gonna work on next time I'm sitting down, and I write those down. And I could be on the bus as well, writing down what I'm gonna work on. So when I'm sitting down by the computer, right now standing up, doesn't matter, I'm actively working. I'm not being at my workstation and thinking about what to work on. These are my bigger points that I wanted to bring up, but I got some thoughts that I want to share as well. One of them, crazy, try to have fun. Everything might not be haha funny as you work, but seeing it long term, like the vision of like what you want to do at the end, you want to like hold on to something that you've seen blossomed up throughout your project's journey, so to say. It's always funnier when you have a positive attitude, and I wouldn't make games if I didn't have fun doing it. I got a question as well about what I felt was the biggest catalyst that propelled me forward. And honestly, I felt like every step of the way was bigger than the previous one to some extent. Because like in the beginning was Tani Nani. That was like my own solo thing. It was big, and then I got some attention for it. That was fun. Then I released it. That was a big thing as well for me. And right after, I got a viral tweet in terms of my numbers with Hoplegs. So I was like, okay, keep doing that. And then I was doing the live streams, and the live streams was growing, still doing that. And it was growing. I had a lot of fun there. Released Hoplegs. Then I kept doing some smaller things in between. They might not have been released, but they were a lot of fun. And everything was built on previous experiences, like things that I've learned throughout my years. And then I started doing freelance, which allowed me to spend time doing something that turned into paperclay, which also started with a viral tweet again in terms of my numbers. And that started because I really wanted to get better at making 3D, to grow. Because I have a long-term plan where I'm going to sit there when I'm 65. I've broken my hip and I can't move. But I can make games. That's the thing. That's the goal. And that's more or less where we are right now. I didn't want to make this video too long, but we might be there already. But I really hope you enjoyed this peek into my life and what I'm doing. And if you enjoyed the video, please subscribe and go wishlist paperclay, because that helps out a lot. Take care.